I'm not even like, did you call your lawyer? Like,
Did I call my lawyer regarding?
no, do you have a good lawyer?
Do I have a lawyer? No, not at
Yeah.
this moment. But I'd like to
You don't?
say, that I should maybe because we're on
Oh my
media. It's
my.
good
Oh, wait
to
a
know that
second. I'm
people
hearing lag. Hold on.
know
I
that
did
I
a
have a
mistake.
lawyer.
I did a boo-boo.
It gives you power,
Lag. We
it
have
gives
a
you
lag.
credibility. So if anybody
We
wants
have
to
lag, darling. I'm
F
gonna
around,
change I'm gonna change Wi-Fi. Hold on.
we always
I
request that you
know.
go on 5G every
You're
single time.
right.
This is like,
Well, we
our
don't have
opening
5
titles every time. Change to
Habibi,
5G. We
5G
should call the
controls the
podcast
mind.
Change to 5G.
You should not have 5G. 5G is for controlling your mind. Hold on one second though.
Okay, we're still recording.
Yes, record. Why not? People
This is
enjoy
online.
people enjoy screw ups. They
People
love
enjoy
screw
these
ups.
moments, these behind the scenes moments.
No, people just enjoy it. It's like a car accident. They love
I
seeing
hope they've
that.
noticed that we've not only
Are you on?
I've changed
I
my
think
hair
switching.
color.
There you
You
go.
have a beard. You've changed your headphones, and so have I.
No, these have been my headphones for the last few
And you've got
times.
your cigar on. Ah,
Yeah,
so that
I'll
break
tell
was
you.
good, wasn't it? I mean, our break, not the break to the people
But
watching.
did you get a good lawyer?
If you'd advise me to, should I
Well,
be
of
worried?
course,
Should I get a
you
lawyer?
yeah,
Who's gonna sue me?
you have to sue the people who did your hair.
I asked them to do my hair.
Well, you should sue them now because they
It was
fucked
with
up.
my full sane mind I asked for this.
God bless you. Why am I frozen now? Okay, I'm good though. All right, so listen, remember where we left off? No, but I do. We left off at the secret. Hello?
I thought this episode is about me.
Shit, I thought you had fallen
The
asleep or
secret of
something.
Amani.
You went dormant on me. It's like, that was funny. The secret.
I do that often if you haven't noticed already. You just
Damn, you
started to get
spaced
to know
out.
me.
Gee, I thought it was a freeze frame, but you were like,
That's what people think I do. I've got a multi-track. You see,
so you know the secret.
I've lived most of my life as a producer.
Remember, that's just a story. Don't forget
So
that.
producers have multi-tracks.
You're not a producer. You're not a producer. Don't be silly. You're an infinite being who thinks she's a producer.
Acting as a producer in this life.
You can never say you are a producer. No, you can say I produce. I have fun producing. But you are not a producer. You are a creator. You are an infinite creator. Now, we have to be careful. Now, I joke around all the time, but we have to stop falling into the old traps. This probably I can say yes, without hesitation. We have to stop falling into the old traps. I mean, we have to have fun. We have to play. But let's not. You see, the problem is if you say you're a producer, then I say I'm an actor, then you say I'm an asshole, then I believe I'm an asshole, then I become one. All these things, it's like, well, yes, labels. This is so absurd. We are so stupid. We believe all these stories. We believe all these
Yeah, but
stories
clarify to
that
me, in
we
this 3D
ourselves.
world, we need to function. So
Well,
when we function, when
you
we
need to
introduce
function.
ourselves
Yes
in
and
the
no.
business world,
No. Hold on. Calm down. Now you're getting ahead of yourself because now you're going too far. First of all, we introduce ourselves. There's a collective consciousness or a collective agreement that we can respect in order to not harm each other. Like, we're not going to each pass whenever we think a red light, or we're not going to jump off of a building and land maybe even on top of other people because we think we can fly. Although the flying part is questionable. However, the red lights and the general, and I'm very, very careful to say even the general rules of society, because there are far too many, and also they overlap each other. So let's just get back to, let's introduce. You're not even Amani Musa, by the way. You're not. Like, I'm not really friggin' Danny Quinn. It's just a friggin' story. If I'm Danny Quinn, well, that's a tragedy in itself. I mean, you know what I mean? Danny Quinn has lost his father, has lost his mother, has lost his brother. That's a fucking tragic story. Excuse me. Can we say, well, you can bleep those words out. But that's a tragic story. His
Oops,
brother.
I
I don't know
haven't
if my
been.
brother wants to. My brother is going through a divorce. My nephews don't talk to me. Are you crazy? That's not a great story. I mean, it was until I was unaware, but maybe that lasted until I was 20. But your story is also rich. Yours, Amani, but this is every human being. And I know I bring up the same characters, which I will, but we're all characters, Amani. You're a character. You cannot be just this one-dimensional. We call it three-dimensional, but I say one-dimensional. Amani Musa. I used to be a TV reporter. Now I'm a producer. It's fucking crazy. No, it's insane. And I know it's nonsense. I know. Because of alhamdulillah, my experiences in this life. Do you want me to go on? Because I can. You know me.
Okay,
I
so how do I introduce myself?
Well, I am. First of all, you are. I am. You could just stop there. Imagine going, I am. I have a friend of mine, by the way, I'll tell you. He used to be, he worked for, and in fact, he worked for a very creative company, the Jim Henson Company, that did the Muppets. I don't know if you're familiar with the Muppets. Hello? Anybody home?
No,
Hello?
I'm not familiar with the muffins.
Okay. No.
Yes, hello. It's a
Not the
connection issue.
muffins. Not the muffins. The Muppets. The Muppets. The muffin is what you eat for breakfast.
The
Or
Muppets.
something
The
else.
Muppets? The Muppet Show? What Muppets?
Yes, the Muppet Show.
The
Yeah, the Muppet
Muppets?
Show. Yes,
Of
yes,
course, it
yes,
was
the
my
Muppets.
favorite in my childhood. Of course, Miss Piggy,
All
Kermit the
right,
Frog.
so this guy who works, it was a big honcho on that. And he told me that the funniest thing that he remembers, and this always stayed with him. It always stayed with him. 30 years ago, we were somewhere. They came to visit in Italy. And we were somewhere. And he remembers, like, my brother calling me. He was very good friends with my brother, Frank. And he called me. And he said, "Where are you?" And I said, "I'm here." But I just said clearly, "I am here. I'm here." That's what I meant. I'm here. I didn't mean anything like I'm at the house. I didn't say, I just said I'm here. And that stuck with him. So whenever he talks to me, he's like, and he says it in Italian, sono qui. So you could say, I am. Now what you add on after that, Amani, is what the story you're gonna believe about yourself. Forget about everyone else who's just a reflection of you. Hello? I see you busy.
Yes,
You okay?
I'm with you.
Yeah. So what do you think about that?
I'm with you. What do
Yeah,
I think about
any
what?
comment?
That he carried with him the
About
whole
what I
Muppet
just
thing?
said. About the whole spiel I went on.
About your friend all of
No.
it? That's a lot to catch up on. Okay, let's take it,
The
one by
question
one.
was,
So,
what do I
from
say? Amani, who are you, Amani? You were a daughter. You were a daughter. My God, you're so many things. You played so many roles. Oh my God, we have to talk long and hard about this. But first of all, let's go back. We left it at our last session on the secret. I'll just tell you because I know you don't care. The secret is gratitude.
No, but we really have to like unravel this. This is very interesting because you've just,
We will. We
there's a
will.
realization with me
We
now.
will. We will. But first, let's go
We
back to
will.
what we said. The secret to a good life is gratitude. Now, it doesn't matter what happens. You lose your house to the fires, they kick you out, you live in the park. I don't care what it is that you're going through. You have, a not so pleasant physical condition, physical dis-ease, whatever it is. Imagine practicing gratitude for what you do have, of that you enjoy. Now focusing on what you don't have. Oh my God.
And may
It's like
I
a
link
flower.
it
Yes.
may m- may I link it to what you've also previously brought up, is that my friend had me notice last week. She's like, you have been saying, every time I ask you, how have you been or how are you, you would say, I'm not well.
Oh,
And she's like, I
terrible.
understand that you're not feeling well, but every time you say, I'm not well, you're living in that I'm not well. And you say it with such,
Conviction.
like it's solid, like
Yeah, yeah,
I'm not
conviction.
well. Yeah.
Oh my God, are you
Conviction.
crazy?
Yeah.
You never
Yeah.
told me that because I would have told you off.
And
I would have told you off. What's wrong with
oh,
you?
I have been, remember I've been bailing out on the podcast recording,
But you didn't tell me
not
that you didn't
all of
feel
it, but
well.
for several times, 3 times now.
But you
Hmm?
didn't tell me you didn't feel well. You did not tell me that. And anyway, I don't know you well enough to scold you. You won't take it from me, but maybe you'll take it from your
Yeah,
friend.
so I didn't realize I was saying that repeatedly with such conviction as you help me out with the terminology here. So it's like I'm making sure that I'm living in that energy of being not well. And she had me realize that I've been using this word repeatedly, this phrase repeatedly. And
Well, that's a
it's
good
unlike
friend.
me to, one, be unwell or to use it. So she's like, since you've turned 50, you have been saying this phrase quite often.
Wow.
So you need to look within and ask yourself, how is
Yeah.
this serving you that you're putting this on repeat?
Yeah, she's she brings
So
up
this
an
is just
excellent.
like what you said. You're introducing yourself as I am. Of course, that was on another subject, who you are and who you introduce yourself to the world, but I'm also introducing myself to myself and to those around me. Hello, I am not well.
Well, she brings up a good point, and it's interesting that it's what we talked about in another episode because we talked about Bashar. And Bashar, in this respect, of course, will always sustain that you create your own reality, but that whatever you think, well, basically, it's whatever you think and you remember. So you project into the future. So you remember something from the past and you project it into the future. And also the statements that you make, she's very wise, your friend, to say this, because you're saying whatever you attach to I am, of course, then you have to state something which may not be obvious now, but just read the book of R.J. Spina. This guy was paralyzed from the waist down. And in 3 months, he wrote a book. I actually have the book. I'm reading it. and it's about healing. R.J. Spina. So I think that's a valuable information for everybody who is ill or chronically ill. This guy was paralyzed and had diabetes, all sorts of problems. Not like a little, bump, a scratch in his forearm. Yes, we have to be careful, but be more than careful. It's a practice because we need to now get into existence. Yeah, like what is existence? And that is quite simple and yet broad. Yes, like you and I have been on a journey of interior self-discovery, and yet it's a process. But um, there's a reason for this. There's a reason. And this is why sometimes I have a concept. I'm like, oh, I'm going to talk to Amani about it. Oh my God, it's going to be flushed out. 3 minutes, I'm going to make it clear. Okay? So I'm like, 3 minutes. Oh my God, it's going to be done and dusted. Oh, it's going to be crystal clear. Like I'm going to say something that's going to change the world. And then I open my mouth and I realize, damn, it's not that simple. I mean, and then it goes back to Jesus, who dictated A Course in Miracles, 400 pages, 1,500 pages. Took me 4.5 years to study. Yes. You look at, forget the Bible. The Bible is like Dante's, paradise, inferno, and purgatory put together. I mean, so many pages, so small to print. And look at all these, when the truth is quite simple. In fact, the 5 unit, but to then dissect, or actually you wouldn't actually dissect it, but to reassemble that, like let's say the Big Bang, which is an explosion and exploded into billions and trillions of billions of pieces. Let's say like a vase, which is quite, we can all understand, a vase, but a nice huge vase, maybe made of glass. Let's say it's 10 feet tall, and it shatters into a million pieces because it falls to the ground. When you look at the vase, it's beautiful and it's one piece, and it's easy, it's simple, very simple form. When it shatters into 1,000 pieces, thousands of pieces, try putting that vase back together, and it becomes quite complicated, quite challenging. That's our life. We're one of the pieces of that beautiful vase. So,
Which brings us to
yeah, yes.
which one of these pieces are we?
Well, you're a piece. Now, this is interesting. Thank you for that question. Because I was just reflecting today, because me too, I fall into the human category, although my wife would state the opposite. But I do fall into the human category. And there is no hierarchy in illusions. Hello?
There is
no hierarchy in illusions. You know that you should play poker. You should play poker. Do you play poker? Because you have a good poker face.
I will lose.
No, you have a good poker face. Because when you don't understand something, you just keep a straight.
Me.
I love it.
Because I'm waiting for context clues.
I love it because you know why?
I'm waiting for, there was a fly, sorry.
I think that comes
I'm
from
waiting
your
for
training
context
as a
clues.
I think it comes from your training as a reporter. You know that you keep that
Producer, I've never reported before.
Let's see if I can do it. You weren't a producer, but you were on camera also. I've seen you on camera. I've seen you. Not this podcast, but
no one has ever told me I have a poker face.
Yeah, you have a poker face.
In fact,
like,
I'm too visible to what's, my
say something that I don't understand.
Say
Like
something
say
that you don't
something.
understand.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'll do you. I'll do you. Yalla.
ما
Well,
معنى
say something.
الوجود. I said ما معنى الوجود.
Yeah, I'm doing you. I was doing you. So you see what I mean? That's the poker face. I was doing you. It's like,
Well, you're an actor, so you pick up on people's expressions. That's how you
I do look
collect,
at I,
your information
I
when you
do
come and
watch.
do a role.
Yeah. Well, okay. So wow, there's so much we can talk about. But I want to go back to there's no we have to be very, very careful. And it goes back to I am a producer, I am this, I am that. No, you're not a producer. I am no more than I am an actor. That's silly for me to say that. Because then I could be a thousand things and then I would be very confused. Well, I am confused, but I would be very confused about what I am. No, I am.
So when somebody
I
asks
am.
you,
You
or
are the
you're introducing
observer.
yourself,
By
what
the
do you
way,
say today?
I produce. You could do say I produce whatever you produce. But you're not that. You're not a gardener.
But Danny also, what like so it's what you
Oh,
do
I
as a
never
skill
introduce myself.
rather than
I
labeling
never introduce
yourself
myself.
in that.
I never introduce myself to people. If someone asks me what I do, I avoid that person. I never see them again.
They're gonna go on a trip with you. They
Yeah,
better
if
not.
someone says to me, "What do you do?" That's the person. I say, "Well, hold on 1 second. I need to go to the bathroom," and then I
You
disappear.
got
I
time? You
don't
tell
want.
them you got time?
No, 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 no. I don't. I don't hang out with people who ask stupid questions like that. No, I'm sorry. I mean, what are you? Be
Yeah,
present.
but you're bound to bump
Be.
into, anybody in the
I don't bump
airport,
into
on the
people. I
street.
don't bump into people that ask me. I can ask people what are you doing right now? But what you doing for a living or what you do? That's a stupid question. A stupid
Why
question.
why do I not like this question?
Well, it's a stupid
What,
question.
I love doing what I do, but why do I get triggered by this question, Danny? Why do you
Well,
think, I'm guessing that that's how it makes you feel. Why do I get triggered by it? Like I'll say normally, like for with the people I know, I say I'm doing well actually. Like my
no, no,
my
no,
friends or my
no. You're
circle,
playing the
I
game. No,
say
no,
in
no.
life
You're
I'm doing
getting.
well.
No, no. Listen, you're playing the game. Don't get caught in this. You're playing the society game of hierarchy of importance. This is what I was telling you. There's no hierarchy in illusions. An illusion is an illusion, it's an illusion. Since life is all illusion, nothing is more important than anything else. And I should know it. I stepped into a business coming from a father who won 2 Academy Awards, nominated for 5 Academy Awards. When people compared me to my father in my early age, and I compared myself, that was the biggest friggin' mistake that I could have made. But it goes beyond that. It goes way beyond that. Life, it's the same. No, like you were asking me, how big, or what kind of fragment am I of God? There is no such thing as a fragment or a fractal. I like to use the term fractal. That is more important than another. I mean, for God's sake, that's the problem that we have in society. We got to get away from that. We got to get away from that. And it's, people will tell you that you're sour grapes, that but that's all the ego. Everything is the ego. So let's get back. I'm not even going to, people, God bless them, but people are ego driven. And so are we, by the way. If you have any doubt, if you have any tingling of discomfort. It's your ego. So we're all in this together. Unless,
We've
which
got
is
to
not,
make an episode about the existence of ego, or the
everything is ego, Amani. We can't make an
um
episode. Everything will never get away from ego as long as we're talking, as long as I'm calling you Amani and you're calling me Danny, that's the ego. But think about it. I'm only Danny because my mom was Yolanda and my father was Anthony, and I had a brother Frankie and Lorenzo. You understand? I mean, 50 years from now, 60 years from now, where is this splendid being that I am? Where is it? And I'm talking to you now, and then what I'm saying to you, is it important? No, only in as much as it reminds you of who you are. Like the fact that Elon Musk does SpaceX. There was other Elon Musks in other centuries. There was Andrew Carnegie, the Rockefellers. There are other characters like that. They were people great. There were great geniuses that weren't recognized. Nikola now Tesla. He named his company after Nikola Tesla, but now they're just footnotes, right? Hello, I can't hear you anymore. Oh, now I can hear you.
yeah, because my cat is cleaning the litter box, so I've muted myself.
I'm sorry. I will not let people know that in the future. So,
So
it's
when
an
I mute, it's
interesting
because I'm trying to.
I get it. So, it's an interesting well, I wouldn't actually say quandary, but it is for us. Living daily life is challenging, yes? Oh my God, there's so many things I want to talk about. I want us to have I can hear the cat. But God bless him. God bless him. Yeah. So, okay. So you tell me, uh, make a sign for me when the cat is finished. Um, no, it's very interesting life, but one thing that saves me, and maybe since I was very young, is the idea of is the idea of I am. Yes. Like that is ingrained in me for some reason. I know I am, and I know I go beyond this temporary existence. However, maybe also fascinating wouldn't say um, fascinating magic trick, if you will, that goes on with me is that sometimes I get fully caught in this physical reality. Less so lately, but especially because when you have other people in your life, it, he's still scratching, by the way, so I don't know why. I mean, does he have an issue?
He's done. I thought he was done, but then he went and scratched, his
I
food
know.
area. So he's doing a whole cleanup now.
God bless cats. God bless
He's done.
animals.
He's done.
Nature is beautiful. Animals are beautiful. It is interesting that.
Oh yeah, they
uh,
they teach us a lot. I mean, this cat has been teaching me a lot.
Well, they're in the present. We have to
Um,
go ahead.
we have to. You were saying?
Well, we have to practice. One thing that we have to be more disciplined in staying in the present, which is odd, but that's what happens in this physical reality. And I found that breathing is really the key. And we were going back to what we'd left off the last episode, which was gratitude. So gratitude doesn't have to be that you have to walk around like with this look on your face all day, but that you can really like take maybe a few moments a day, like with discipline, in discipline. And I'm not saying like an hour, 2 or 3 hours of meditation. Listen, all methods are good, all of them are valid, but what is valid for you? So, my approach, you know that from the beginning, it's been practically applied spirituality. So, how can we become aware of who we are and still live a fulfilling physical life, knowing that full well that it's going to end? It's like going on a roller coaster and fearing the whole time, or going on an airplane and fearing the whole time that the airplane's going to fall. That's not friggin' pleasant. How about you know your trip is going to end, but when you're up there, watch the movies on the screen, eat the peanuts, drink the
Yeah.
champagne, just, but without losing, you don't annoy other people. You just enjoy. Look down. Oh my God, at the earth. Look up at the sky. Enjoy it. It won't last, but just be aware. But don't be fearful. What time am I arriving? Oh, I'm late. Oh, and then I went through all that. You went through all that where I used to have times,
Yeah,
periods
I
in my
was just
life where
gonna
I was
say,
afraid of
like,
flying.
it's interesting how we switched from being that to this. Like, I don't even remember where that. Of course, I was aware of the journey to become who I am now and continue to be work in progress. Two things, like three things today. It made me realize, yeah, the whole getting on the plane thing. Oh my God, but I picked that up from, God bless her soul, my mom. She would go on a whole mode of being on, stress mode, just getting on the plane throughout the journey. I don't remember when I started to switch that around and do what you're saying, is that, observe, process it, enjoy it, uh, be in that moment rather than panic about how and when and how quick and how well we're going to arrive and what's going to happen. I mean, she would even assume and rehearse when we arrive what's going to happen and not happen, and she would prep me like, you'd get the bags, I'd do this, like the whole planning thing. And I was that.
Well, I think, again, we
But
all
I'll
go
tell you
through.
where that came from. A big part of it, when I done a lot of digging on myself and my subconscious mind and where these fears come from, or being on that stress mode, apparently it's the fear of authority, or that other person being an authority. So airports, check-ins, systems. So I've got this program about the fear of authorities, or being
No, I don't.
controlled by authority.
No, no, no. That's all nonsense. No, I don't know. Fire the person who told you that. No, I don't believe that. First of all, that's nonsense because we all have the same fears. We
Yeah, but
all
that's the
have.
mode I was running on.
No, 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 no. It's your ego, Habibi. It's our ego.
And
This
trust
all,
me,
and it and, and it all stems.
a
It
lot
all
of
stems.
Arabs, or Lebanese in particular, they run on that mode.
Yeah, yeah. But Habibi, that's all covered.
Fear of the
And
unknown, the
be
whole
careful. We all do. We
immigration,
all do.
displacement,
No, no,
and
no, no. Listen, listen, listen. Stop, stop. Let's stop these stories. You and I will stop these stories. Be careful. You're going to go meander. You're meandering now in the myriad of little estuaries that the ego puts out. Be careful. I'm going to take you back. There's only one truth. We're one, and it all boils back to the original idea of separation that God and that the creator, source, light, whatever, God, Allah, whatever you want to call it, that we are more than one person, or that we are more than one being. In other words, that we are separate beings. Okay, so it's the separation. the original separation from beingness, oneness. But that's also the beauty, if you will, of existence. Existence is remembering that oneness. So
Yeah.
let's not get caught up in these nonsense
Simply.
estuaries.
Simply.
It's simple,
Yeah.
stupid. I
Yeah.
love
It's
that.
nonsense.
I love it. James Carville, who was the advisor, I think it was to Clinton, when they would talk to him about the economy. Remember, I don't know if you remember, but you're of a mature age where you can remember him. And he used to say, "It's the economy, stupid." Of course, he was being facetious, and he was. Do you remember the saying? Well, you have to have follow. Hello, are you there? Poker face.
Which is? Yes, which I'm waiting.
Well,
You're
I just
testing my
made it.
memory.
I made a grand
I have
statement, but I
what
got
was Nemo's
I got
friend in Finding
James
Nemo?
Carville
I have selective memory.
saying it says Finding Nemo and James Carville, the advisor to
You've been
President
on this
Clinton.
journey way longer than I have. I wouldn't know that. I've just
I
marked
wouldn't.
it now,
I
so
wouldn't.
we could
I wouldn't
have his
accentuate.
name and
I wouldn't accentuate the way longer, but let's just say longer. I don't appreciate that.
time is an illusion, but yeah, there is. I'm getting there
Time is an illusion.
in the
Time
time
is an
of
illusion. So the
reading,
separation
finding
is
time
really
to
the only
read more.
difference. Now it all boils back to the separation that we feel. That's all existence from the billions of years ago of the formation of the universe, from the Big Bang until I don't know. Now I have questioned if it will end. But for our intents and purposes, it won't end. Okay, so I don't think I spent years thinking about the end of existence, not life, but existence. And I've since given up. And for all intents and purposes, it doesn't end. And anyway, time and space are also an illusion. So you would have to imagine that beingness is a whole other state. Okay, now that we, as we are speaking now with our finite minds, may or may not, well, probably will not be able to comprehend in any case. However, we can do our best to be present, to be in our fullest awareness, yes, and to begin using terms that are more beneficial to us. That, yes.
Because
Well,
why would we want to be in our awareness, in our full presence, and being in the now? Just saying, why?
No, it's a good question actually. To live a more fulfilling life, to live a more to have more peace inside. And I would think first peace is a good peace. Peace inside is pretty much a good. I don't know if it's a starting point or an ending point, but let's say peace, and then joy, moments of joy, fulfillment, but knowingness of something is it makes life worth living more. Listen, I know people, and I'm sure you do too, and I've experienced it myself. This is something that I really do want to share with people because everyone thinks they want. Now, if you're a guy, not even a guy or a girl, because now there really is much that the lines are becoming much thinner. But most people think they want a great luxury-filled life. Yes? Well,
at what point did we? I mean, doesn't have an answer, but I'd like your insights on it because I'd like to also think where that all started. At what point did we start like believing that everything outside of us is the race, is the journey.
I
Everything
think from,
outside of us is where we want
well,
to be.
yeah, but and that's part of the collective consciousness. So I'm not surprised, and I really don't spend so
Yeah.
much time thinking about that because that's our programming. If you read, have you read Dr. Bruce Lipton? I think I've mentioned his biology of belief before, but we should really
Yeah, I'm a follower
direct
to
people
Bruce
to that.
Lipton. Yep.
Yeah, so that's
Biology
one
of belief,
aspect, the biology of belief.
epigenetics.
Yeah, epigenetics, etc. But and before epigenetics, we had NLP, neuro linguistic programming, right? And we have EFT, which is tapping.
Yes.
There's a lot of
Yep.
different methodologies. But basically, and I told you about the Course
I'd
in
like to talk
Miracles.
about tapping because my cousin just got into it and she's pushing me towards getting into the whole tapping. But we talk about it in another episode, like this
Because I've done it,
tapping
so we can talk
exercise.
about
Why
it.
is it important? I do
Well,
it for the
it's
house,
a
by the way, but I don't do it for myself. I do it for things
well.
in the house.
I go back to what Bashar says. It's a permission slip. I'm really leaning more towards now that everything is a permission slip. I really don't believe in much anymore.
Mm.
I only believe in the I amness. I really think
Within.
that the closest,
Mm.
well, the closest one I can honestly say, uh, the closest being that I mean, I follow Sadhguru. I've followed, of course, I followed the Dalai Lama. I was never a big fan. I've met the Pope. Um, but I can say the closest being that I feel like a kinship towards is Eckhart Tolle because of the way he describes a beingness. Except,
The
and
mind.
I always said, my
Mm.
teachers, my mentors have always been non physical beings. Isn't that interesting? I have never had
Mm.
a physical mentor because everyone has their own egoic journey to go through and to expunge before they can become aware of their beingness. And there's so much more to talk about, Amani. Every time I think, oh, and before we do the podcast, I'm like, oh my God, what are we going to talk about? Because this concept is going to take me 2 minutes to illuminate, to make clear. 2 minutes, three tops, and then I'm like, oh my God! The minute I get into it, it's like, oh my God, no! I keep telling you, it's like it's in a sense, it's like an onion, a huge giant onion that you peel it, and then underneath you find the same. The onion is a great example of fractal geometry. In any case, okay. Do you want to end it? Is this are you what you're alluding to?
Yeah, what should we take home today? What should we end it with? Or for the next?
There's
What's the
nothing to
next
end it with.
either this or the next one?
What can we say? There's nothing to end it. It's interesting because just when you think you have the answers to anything, more questions arise. Isn't that something?
And that's exactly
Don't
what
you find
happened to
that?
me last week. Yeah. Yeah, what happened to me last week, to reiterate on the, I haven't been well or I'm not well thing, is that when I sat back and got the realization, everything was separate. So I'll bring back the whole separation of what you bring out wonderfully every time, which I think will always come up, is that I was separate. The medication I'm taking is separate. What I'm
Yeah, yeah,
feeling physically,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
where it
yeah, yeah, yeah.
is separate. how I'm functioning in that state is separate. There were so many separations, but they were
Yeah.
all linked to one thing, exactly one thing. And as soon as I sat back, and my beautiful friend, Roshni, who said, you have been saying that, you've been stating that state of
Yeah,
being
that
for
was a
quite
good
some time.
reflection. Yeah, that was a
Um,
good reflection.
it was a good reflection. I still did not write it down in detail, which I will. Tomorrow, I've dedicated this time for myself on a Sunday. As soon as I sat back and I went, Danny, I found the answer to what I have been feeling all along. Why
Yeah.
it was like, oh, I feel a bit of this. Oh, this popped up. Oh, now this is, oh, how come this is new? Well, how did that come up? Oh, it's because
Yeah.
I went and traveled and got the flu. It was just
Yeah,
different.
yeah.
I was trying to be
Finding
creative in my
yeah,
reasons while
yeah.
it's linked to one thing.
What's that called? Not
One thing.
excuses.
It was all
You-
linked to one thing.
You're
And
finding
once I
labels.
reflected and I just sat back
Yeah.
and realized what I've been saying and doing, it was the answer was there. I had
Yeah.
the answer. My friend didn't have the answer. She's like, sit back and just think about it. And when I did, it all linked to one thing.
That's
Brings us
helpful
back to
for
Bruce
people.
Lipton, the biology of belief. So what do I
Yeah,
believe is what becomes.
There you go. That we can leave it at that. Let's leave it at that, because that's all of us have to work
Look
with
forward
our
to the
beliefs.
next one.
We have to work with our beliefs, and our beliefs are unique because they're composed of our ancestral data, let's say, that we have, and our current conditions.
It's still there. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll see you
Cheerio.
soon. Bye, darling.
See you soon. Stay well. Bye.